Welcome to Don't Quote Me, a podcast brought to you by Marshfield Insurance, where we shine a spotlight on businesses that drive our local economy, the events that bring us together, and the incredible people behind it all. Whether you're a lifelong local, a new neighbor, or just curious about what makes our area special, you're in the right place. From Main Street shops to hidden gems, county fairs to community fundraisers, and the friends and supporters who make it all happen, we're here to tell the stories that matter. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's celebrate Central Wisconsin one conversation at a time. I'm Nick Arnoldy, and I'm here with Dale Christensen, the director of the Central Wisconsin State Fair. Dale, thanks for joining us. Today, Dale's going to tell us about this year's fair and some things you didn't know about the fair. So Dale, you recently received a Friend of the Fair Award from the Wisconsin Association for Fairs. This award recognizes important individuals, groups, or businesses for outstanding contributions to support the fair industry and the Wisconsin Fair Association. They mention a few key factors for you as to why you got the award this last year. It was updating fair dates, enhancing ticket sales for admission and grandstand shows, and also updating the property. Dale, congrats. You've been the director since 2017. I've known you in my professional role since then. How did you get to Marshfield, and how did you get involved in the fair industry?
Well, the fair industry is very interesting. It's pretty much been a lifetime commitment. I've started out, if we want to go way back, I attended my first fair, was down in Peatone, Illinois. Grandma and Grandpa took me to the fair at 5 years old. And the carnival lights, the smells of the food, and the animals, I was just infatuated from little on. When we moved up to Wisconsin, we were dairy farming. Dad bought a dairy farm. We were dairy farming. I went the whole 4-H, the showing and that type of thing. I got involved in 4-H once I graduated out. I was a 4-H leader for many years. And I became a volunteer on the Lincoln County Fair Board up in Maryland. That's what it was. It was a volunteer position. And that's kind of where I got started. And serving in that position, I did get elected to the Wisconsin Association of Fairs Board. I served 7 years there, 3 years as president. And that kind of ties into how I ended up with part of the background that went into me getting that award.
Cool. Well, I mean, seems like you almost had a passion for it from a young age. It was something you always wanted to do, huh?
Yep. It's a passion, and the fair industry is rather unique in that way. It ties in so many different interests. But those of us that are in it and our lifers in it, we claim to be bitten by that fair bug. And once that fair bug bites you, you're it.
So what has changed kind of in the fair industry from when you were a kid until now? It seems like one of those timeless things that never really changes. I mean, you always have your fair rides, you have the great food, you have grandstand acts, and that model seems to have stayed, unlike other things where they change differently. And the fairs, to me anyway, has always kind of stayed kind of the same, at least the model for fairs.
The model for the fairs is basically the same. It keeps revolving. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that when I was a kid growing up, everybody had ties to the agriculture side of it. And, well, if you weren't on a farm, Grandma and Grandpa was, or your uncle, or somebody was, you could always have that farm connection. In today's age, there are so few people in the general public that have the agriculture connection. And the fairs are evolving more into an ag education and letting the people know where's your food coming from, how are they growing it, and just getting them back to what I consider their roots.
Very cool. So what do you like most about being the executive director here at the Central Wisconsin State Fair?
The executive director here at this fair has been a very challenging role, but it's a challenging role that I've embraced and I really have grown to enjoy. I enjoy the business side of it a lot more than I ever thought I would as a kid growing up. And it's quite interesting, and your passion lies as, when you're looking at grandstand entertainment, when you're booking it, how the whole procedure goes about. It's very interesting, and I guess that's what I really love.
Well, I appreciate that you like the business side of things, because dealing with vendors like myself on insurance, a lot of people, that's not super exciting, right? It's more of red tape and, I got to do this, or I got to get this, or I got to figure this out. But you seem to keep it all very organized, and I can appreciate that. And you've enhanced a lot of things, I would say, in the since 2017. So in the years that you've been doing it. And speaking of enhancing things, in this year's fair, 2025, why should people come to the fair this year?
What we've done this year is we've upgraded throughout. We've upgraded our grandstand entertainment. Our budget has really, really grown in the grandstand entertainment. But if that's not your thing, the grounds entertainment, we've got 3 or 4 different grounds acts going on. Our entertainment, we've got regional bands, we've got bands coming out of Green Bay, we've got bands coming from all over. All of that entertainment comes with your gate admission. And I hear it all the time, your gate admission is $10 for adults and it's so much for kids. And if, I can drop this, what's there for me to do? And that's the question that I really, really try to answer in upgrading the free entertainment. Doesn't come free to me, but it's free to...
Need sponsors for that, right?
Yes, I need sponsors for that. But yes, and thank my sponsors very much. But that's what I want you to do. When you walk on the grounds, I don't want you leaving the gate saying that, there was nothing there to do, because we have something that should interest everybody, whether it's our exhibits, our animals, our entertainment, our food, what have you. We try to make it a fulfilling experience for the whole family.
Well, it's something to do in central Wisconsin here in the Marshfield area, and I often hear, what can you do in Marshfield? I mean, if you look at the grandstand acts that you've lined up, everything there is to do at the fair. I know you enhanced the ride vendor a couple years ago. Very, as far as fair rides go, very clean, very organized. I take my kids every year. They beg me to go, and I'm getting a little older where I used to go on like the craziest of rides, but now, and I don't know what it's called, but it does this swaying thing and turning at the same thing. I got very nauseous. So if my 11-year-old drags me on there again, I'm good for 1 round, but I think she did like 5 or 6. So I think you've improved on all of that. But what's a typical year look like for planning? Like, how are you start planning as soon as this year's done for 2026? Like, what does planning look like for the Central Wisconsin State Fair?
Planning has really evolved. When I started in this industry 20 years ago, you wouldn't start booking until the convention in January. And if you were doing a national act, you might get started at that time. And it has really changed that I have... My carnival company's booked 2 years out. Wow. I've got a grandstand act that is booked for next year. I've got stuff going on that you're looking at it constantly. And if you get into November, December, where you used to start looking, if you don't have your national acts booked or at least offer in on them, it gets pretty hard to do.
Booking grandstands for 2026 already. We won't leak that. I'm sure that has to remain quiet for now, but we're excited to hear what the following year has to bring. We've got some great grandstand acts that we'll get into in just a moment. Other than those things, are there any behind-the-scenes aspect of the management roles that you have that people don't realize for planning?
One of the main things that has really been on our plate here lately, the last year or so, is the grounds and the upgrades of the buildings. And it's a very complex put together procedure or property, I should say. Part of the fairgrounds is owned by the Fair Association. We own the horse arenas, the campground, the barns, the ground that the hockey building sets on, and where the dog park is. The rest of the property is owned by the city. Well, there's several buildings on the city property that our Junior Fair exhibit building are aging out. These buildings are 45 years old. We're having water problems. We're having furnace problems. It's just they've served their purpose. And working with the city and trying to come up with a solution as to how we move forward seems to be, I'll be honest with you, it almost takes up more time than
Sure.
putting the fair together. Yep.
Wow. Well, we appreciate the constant work to keeping all of that maintained so that the experience is a good one for people that come from outside Marshfield and experience Marshfield and all the locals that go to the fair.
Yep.
Now, we did mention the Grandstand performers, which an incredible lineup this year. I'm very excited to go to a few of the shows, if not all of them. So Saturday night, we've got Halestorm, and for those, if you live under a rock and you don't know who Halestorm is they won a Grammy for Best Live Performance, I think in 2012 for their song Love Bites. They're a big deal. If you go on their website and you look at their tour schedule, it's L.A., Dallas, Tampa, Chicago, Marshfield. That's amazing. Great booking on Saturday. I'm definitely going to be there. A lot of my friends are going to be there. I have friends coming from out of town coming to Marshfield. Very excited about that show. Friday night, country act Justin Moore. He's won Breakthrough Artist of the Year from the American Country Awards and New Artist of the Year from the Academy of Country Music. Great country act on Friday night, August 22nd. Thursday, Hairball's back. Always a big show. I think always sold out. So all of these acts, get your tickets now because they are selling out, and that's centralwisconsinstatefair.com. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And I just want to touch on the Hairball band thing. We do hear a few comments as to why do you keep bringing them back? And it's because
sell out.
they sell, people love them, and they move a lot of product. And it's a band that is making me money. And in this industry, there's a lot of times you bring in a band that you lose money on because of cost. So they're a band that's making me money, and with as long as I've got the band making me money to fall back on, we can gamble a little bit more with the other ones.
It's almost a foundational piece of the Grandstand, and I mean, especially this year, I imagine they're going to play a couple Ozzy tunes, given his passing and his final concert. But a great act to see, and I know wherever they go, people go to see them. So. And it's important to note, you say, makes the fair money. The fair is still a non-profit. So, but we've got to make sure everything balances so we can keep bringing acts back and something to do in the Marshfield area.
Yep.
Now, on Wednesday, we have local country act Chris Kroeze. He's from Barron, Wisconsin, and he was on The Voice in 2018.
Yep.
So we're now joined by Chris. Chris, thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Glad to be on here.
Thank you. Yeah. What was it like to compete on The Voice in 2018 and ultimately finish as the runner-up? How did that exposure change your life and career trajectory? Because you were doing hundreds of shows before that a year.
Yeah. I'd been full-time music for a long time prior to going on The Voice. But it definitely, it changed everything. I guess the best way I can kind of boil it down quickly is I was doing about 250 to 275 nights a year prior to The Voice, and now I'm doing about 100. So that's a way better lifestyle in my opinion.
Sure. And you've been playing guitar since age 6, right? And
yep, that's right.
Throughout that time, did anybody ever go, maybe it's not a career path for you, or that's not a thing? And if they told you that, did you use that as motivation, or how did that go? Did that ever happen?
It never really put a chip on my shoulder or anything, but all through high school and everything, it's just, everyone, I think everyone had good intentions, it was just, they were kind of trying to make sure you can make your way in the world, I guess. But I was like, I don't have a backup plan. So this is it.
Well,
it was, everyone, what are you going to do for a career, and I'm like, well, but the funny thing was in high school, I was already making money doing this by the time I graduated high school. Not a lot of money, but I thought it was in high school,
Nice. I can see that. I would guess that nobody told you that, but I thought maybe it'd be an interesting story of adversity if somebody said that, but just listening to you myself, it's just such a natural voice and really enjoy the music. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
you did a trip to Nashville recently to record, right? Is there
This
any?
time I wasn't recording down there. I went down there to
Oh,
wrote with a couple of friends of mine, and then I did like a big social media thing with a guy called the Singing Barber
oh,
down east
cool.
out of Benton, Tennessee. It's about 3 hours south of Nashville. But then I ended up coming back through Nashville and hanging out with some friends and wrote a couple songs and then came home.
So Trigger Happy being one of those new songs that you wrote, is that one of the ones that you
Uh,
just wrote? You wrote newer than
I
that.
Yeah, well, I wrote Trigger Happy with a couple friends of mine here at my studio. Oh man, I don't February or March, one of them two. And yeah, that one we recorded that here at my studio, and just fun song. It's different than anything I've ever put out. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming this year, though, a whole bunch. So,
So what new music can fans expect at the Grandstand this year at the fair?
well, we'll definitely be playing. So I've got a song coming out on the 22nd, so 2 days after I play there. I've got a single coming out called "Even Rednecks Get the Blues," and that's a song that I wrote with a friend of mine named Kevin Bowe out of Minneapolis. And that, usually when we write songs, it's like you can't really tell if they're good right away or if you like them. This one was just felt like something I'd been singing for years immediately, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people, and I think it's a really cool song.
And you posted to social also a cover of Ozzy Osbourne's "Mama,
Yeah,
I'm Coming Home."
yeah, that
Amazing. Love
that
it.
comes out that comes out to all the DSPs like Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff this Friday. That one goes live. And Wax 104.5 has been playing the crap out of it on radio, so that's been awesome.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite song. Obviously, watching his last live performance, especially
Yeah.
that one. Um, was that kind of why you chose it? Kind of in the similar, hey, that's my favorite song. I'm going to go with that one, or did you
You
debate
know,
on a few different ones?
it's funny. A cousin of mine was here hanging out one night in this studio. I think we were having a fire or something. We ended up coming in here, and we were just listening to music, and we started listening to Ozzy, and he told me, he's like, man, you should try doing a cover of this "Mama, I'm Coming Home." And so I dove into it and I started recording it like in the studio. And so I mean I recorded that song, man, probably a year ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
And
that's what I was just going to ask. Was that before his
and
last concert, or?
yeah, it was way
Yeah.
before, and it was just honestly just because I love the song. And then I put it out for release for August 8th, and then like 2 days after I put it out was when he had passed away, and I was like, oh man,
Wow.
that's crazy. But
Well,
yeah,
we're excited to be able to download it this Friday on the 8th to potentially
yeah.
hear it at the fair. Hoping
Oh
to
yeah,
hear
we'll play
that.
that. We play that every night. Yeah,
Awesome. I will be there.
yeah,
Excited to hear
yeah.
that.
It's a lot
So
of fun.
speaking of the,
If you go onto my Facebook or Instagram, there's a video of us playing it this last weekend. The whole crowd was singing it with us. It was pretty cool.
yeah, I did see that. So check
Yeah.
check out Chris on Facebook. Look for that video, a little preview of what's to come at the fair on Wednesday night, August 20th. So what's your most memorable live music moment? Maybe a fan interaction or sing along. I mean, maybe that's up there, or was there something maybe more memorable than that?
One of I it's very easy. It stands out. I don't know if that'll ever top it. It was I don't remember what year it was, but we played Country Jam in Eau Claire. We played right before Charlie Daniels. So I got to meet Charlie Daniels. Um, do that, and then right as soon as we got done, we had to hop in the truck or the van at the time and go straight to Red Wing, Minnesota, and we got to go play a show with Skynyrd that night. And
Oh, wow.
that was about the coolest thing ever. And so I got to sit backstage with acoustic guitars and play guitar with Gary Rossington, who was the last like original surviving member of Skynyrd,
Yeah.
which was definitely a bucket list thing and something I never thought that would ever actually happen, and it did, and that was crazy. So that's probably the
So
most
cool. Yeah.
memorable live music thing I've ever done.
How many years ago was that?
It's 5 or 6 years ago now.
Cool.
Yeah, because Gary died, I think that next year, maybe. I can't remember. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. To wrap things up, I got a rapid fire
Yeah.
questions here for you.
Oh boy.
I'm headed to Nashville in a few weeks, so I got to start out with this one. What's your favorite Nashville bar or restaurant?
Third and Lindsley, it's
Third.
called.
Okay.
If
I
you're
remember
gonna be there on a Monday night, the band called the Time Jumpers plays there every Monday night, and twice when I've been there to see them, Vince Gill came and sat in with them. It's
I'm there
just
a
oh,
Thursday
you're
through a
there.
Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, honestly, there's good music. It depends on what you're into. If you're into like the whole Broadway party thing, go down to Kid Rock's bar that's down there. It's probably the coolest stage, in my opinion. Um, there's all kinds of stuff. And Martin's Barbecue. That's always a spot I hit when I'm down there.
Got it. Gonna check out every
Yeah.
one of those for those 3 evenings. All
Yeah.
right. Adam, Kelly, Jennifer, or Blake. I kind of think I know what you're gonna say.
Oh man, they were all so nice. But obviously, I mean, Blake, I was on his
For
team,
sure.
and yeah, they were all. It was super cool. Yeah, but I got to go with Blake.
Cool. Favorite beverage that you have to relax?
To relax, I mean, I'm pretty lame these days. It's either water or carbonated water.
There you go.
One of those two things.
Responsible.
Trying to be too busy to be too busy to be
Yeah.
irresponsible anymore. Kids and all this stuff going on, and it's just I can't. I'm not very good at drinking anymore. Actually, I think I got really good at drinking, and that's why I kind of put it on the back burner.
No, that's a better way to go.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So speaking of kids,
Yeah.
I'm a dad. You're a dad. I had an internship at Disney. Fun fact. What's the best Disney movie?
Ooh, the best Disney movie lately. I mean, our kids are super into like the Moana movies. Those are good. Yeah.
I'm kind of on that odd favorite Disney movie. It's Big Hero 6 because I can remember my son being little, and after we got done with the movie, he was running up and down the ramp at Rogers Cinema pretending he was a superhero. So that stuck
Oh,
with me.
that's
So now
awesome.
that's like my favorite. Yeah. But now he's going to be a freshman and he's taller than me.
Yeah, and
So
that's
it's
something.
just weird.
Yeah.
Lastly, you're a football fan? Are you a football fan?
I used to watch it a lot, and now, honestly, within the last 5 or 6 years, it's kind of been we're so busy and gone all the time that if we are home on a Sunday, it's pretty rare that we'll actually sit down and watch a football game. But we try to get to Lambeau once a year.
Nice. So do you think the Packers will make it to the big game this year?
Man, I would be a very uneducated guess, but of course, yeah, go Packers.
And then who would they play on the other side of things? Do we have a better idea? Is it going to be the Chiefs again?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong guy.
Well, maybe we'll catch you at Lambeau, but we're definitely going to catch you at the fair on Wednesday night, August 20th, 7 p.m., I believe, is the show for Chris. Does that sound right, Dale?
Yep, 7:30.
7:30? Okay.
Sounds great.
So get your tickets before they run out at the fair's website, and that is centralwisconsinstatefair.com. Chris, we appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, and I will be there Wednesday. I know Dale's going to be there Wednesday and a bunch of our friends to enjoy your show. Looking forward to the new music, especially the cover of Ozzy. And thanks again. We'll see you in a few days.
Yeah, appreciate it. We'll see you guys there.
Thank you, sir.
Bet.
Yep, you bet.
We just got done with Chris there. Have you heard or seen his cover of Ozzy's Mom, I'm Coming Home yet?
No, I haven't, but I actually saw Chris one night in Wausau, and I will tell you this. Chris's version of Prince's Purple Rain is one that you've got to see,
I haven't heard
too.
that.
I saw Chris do that live, and it is fantastic.
So we've got Mom, I'm Coming Home to hear Purple Rain. I hope he plays that. Burning House is another favorite song of Chris for me. So I'm hoping to hear those songs on Wednesday. So let's talk now about tickets. You mentioned this before. Gate tickets are what at the gate now for adults and kids?
Our adult tickets are $10, and our children are $5.
Okay. I mean, it takes a year's worth of planning, a lot of logistics, volunteers, sponsors to bring it to Marshfield. Have the gate prices changed, and how do our gate tickets compare to other fairs?
Our gate prices haven't changed since I've been here, and they are very comparable to other fairs. One of the interesting changes that we made is when we decided to start upgrading our grandstand entertainment is we went to selling tickets in advance for the grandstand entertainment, which included your ticket price. And that was a transition year, was a little bit rough, but we've been in it a few years now. and people seem to like that. You get your ticket price, your gate admission's already included, and it's a package deal, and it works out quite well.
So are there any special days or events for wristbands for rides that people should know where they maybe could get any sort of deal on a certain day?
There's different deals. I guess if in our entertainment guide, I don't right offhand, I'm not too familiar with what the carnival is doing. I know we have a ride special each day. They vary from day to day. I guess best to go to our website, look at it, and figure that out, or it's in our entertainment guide what the carnival is doing.
So yeah, check out the entertainment guide, centralwisconsinstatefair.com. Learn about the wristbands. I know that's always the time that I take my kids on the rides. I get a wristband myself. And I think, like you said, it's important to note gate prices have not changed, and I would say the level of our entertainment has gotten larger and larger. So
one thing we're doing different this year, Nick, is on our opening day, Tuesday. Our gate prices on Tuesday are $5 instead of $10 because the carnival's not operating on Tuesday. And this year we are doing a food drive, a canned food drive. You bring in 2 non-perishable food items, and you get you in the gate free on Tuesday.
Oh, there's a deal. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Tuesday, get in the gate. No carnival rides that day, but if you bring in 2 non-perishables, you can check out everything on Tuesday.
Yep. We have great entertainment going on there, and if you can't wait to get that fair food, that's a good chance to do it on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Well, what is your speaking of, what's your favorite fair food event or tradition? Maybe start with food. What's the go-to for you?
Well, here in Marshfield, my go-to may have changed since I came here, but the gyros are just unbelievable. I mean, Ari does such a fantastic job with gyros, but as you go up and down the Midway, we've got a few new vendors this year, but the ones that have been with us, I haven't found a bad one yet.
Right. My son and daughter both go for the mouse ears or the elephant ears. I go to the gyros, and I usually end up wearing it, so if you see me, you'll know if I had a gyro because it'll partially be on me, but I'm with you, gyros.
Yep.
So what kind of economic impact to Marshfield, the tourism or otherwise, does the fair have for Central Wisconsin or Marshfield?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because right now we're in the middle of doing economic impact study. We're working with the International Association of Fairs, and they are kind of conducting it nationwide because they're seeing that all fairs need to have this information to present to their city council, to the public, what kind of economic impact we have. So right now we're in the process of doing one that I'll be able to answer that question a lot better next year. But I do know this year is, from what I'm hearing, hotels in Marshfield are all pretty much full on that weekend with that Saturday night. I know of an exhibitor that had talked to me on the 4th. I had said, do you have your hotel rooms? And they said, no, they were coming in for the open show, and they didn't get them. I said, you better call them. They called a hotel here in Marshfield, and they said, it's the 14th booking today for that weekend, and we only have 2 rooms left. So good thing you called.
That's great news for the hotels. That's great news for the restaurant. That's great news for the shopping and all of the planning that you've done and the acts that you're bringing, and that's why we have that impact. There's, I believe, roughly 65,000 people by last count that come through the fair on any given season. The Central Wisconsin State Fair has been around for 123 years, I think. Does that sound right? Give or take a year.
That's correct.
How do you ensure the fair stays welcoming for all ages?
What we try to do is we try to have something for everybody. You see it in our grandstand shows, you see it in our fair tent or our entertainment tent, you'll see it all the way throughout. The variety. We've got country, we've got rock, we've got in the tent, we've got bluegrass, we've got polkas, we've got some old time country, we got classic rock. We try to keep that for everybody, something for everybody. In our kids' entertainment this year, we've got Kenny Ahern's stage coming back this year, and it went over very well last year. We've got new coming in this year's Tada Robots, and they're going to be interesting. They'll be interacting with the kids and adults on the Midway. puppets on pedal tractors that interact with people. We try to keep it entertaining for everyone. We're trying to entice our exhibit areas in the barns where the cattle is shown, or like in the buildings where photography or this and that, those types of things are being done. We try to keep enticing and making those types of areas entertaining and refreshing.
Well, you've given us a lot of reasons to check out the fair this year. We appreciate your hard work with all the bookings, with the food vendors, the carnival, the grandstands, all of it, and what you do in enhancing the fair. And again, congratulations on your award. Check out the fair this year. It's going to be a great time. Anything else you'd like to add before we dismiss ourselves?
No, the only thing I'd like to say is we put a lot of work and a lot of effort into this year's fair. We got something for everybody. It's bigger and better than ever, and fingers crossed Mother Nature cooperates with us.
Yes, yeah, that is always a big thing. We'll be just fine.
Yes.
Now, make sure to like and follow Marshfield Insurance and the Don't Quote Me podcast on Facebook or wherever you consume your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. Thanks again for joining us.